Boom, boom. And we are live here from a beautiful Hockenheim, Germany. Happy Easter from me and the rest of the UDL. So today there is a new commentary booth. I am Sinister Elf 43 alongside Apex. How are you doing today, Apex?
I'm good.
Good. It should be a fantastic race here today from Hockenheim, Germany. Lots of storylines going into this race. The past 8 races there have different winners. Snipper Pig 007 is the only one of those drivers to win 2 races. So we wait for everyone to head on track to start their flying laps for their qualifying session.
Yeah, with so many drivers taking wins at the beginning of the season really gives you, vibes from 2012 when a bunch of different drivers from a bunch of different teams took wins, and it really just goes to show there's a lot of parity in the field, and it's really good to see.
Indeed it is. So as I get the lap data turned on, track map turned on, all that good stuff, we'll get the qualifying coverage underway. As we look at the field now, we're going to take a look at X Breezy, who is currently second in standings, a few points behind Snipper Pig, who leads the championship. And the great thing about this is the championship is still wide open. We'll look and see who will be the first person to cross the line to start their flying lap. It's going to be Drew Yu in the Williams as he heads through Sector 3 now to start his flying lap.
One thing to note is that two drivers in the top 3, being Snipper Pig and Pecan, racing for Ferrari and Haas, really carrying their teams in terms of point totals, whereas the drivers in 2nd and 4th place are on the same team, Alfa Romeo, and they're not running away with the point standing, but really impressive as a team. And I'm really going to be looking to them to see if you're going to be working together to help each other out and really get higher really lock out the constructors and then maybe fight it out amongst themselves.
For sure. So what should we look out for strategy-wise? Because it looks like there's a few drivers that's on the hard tires and the medium tires. So what should we expect here today?
Okay, well, Germany is you really have to define tracks, and with what tracks can you pass on, what can't you pass on. So on tracks where you find it difficult to pass on, you really want to be minimizing your pit stops, whereas tracks that you do have good opportunities to pass on, taking an extra pit stop is not necessarily detrimental. If you're rough on your tires or you just want to use softer compounds, it's okay to take an extra stop, just as long as you have the pace to really extract the performance out of the soft tires. So what's advantageous about Germany is that Sector 1 and Sector 2 are solid places to overtake. Sector 3 is a good place to conserve your grip and conserve your ERS to really push on Sector 1 and 2. So that really is a breakdown of Germany in a nutshell. It does favor the aggressive driver, but you do need to watch your tire wear for Sector 3.
For sure, and as all that was going on, Dilsack has posted the fastest lap of the session. He goes fastest with a 1:14.0 on the hard compound tires. We'll see if anyone is able to beat that. It looks like that all of the front runners are on the hard tires for now. I don't know if they are going to try and qualify on hards or if they're just saying a banker lap. But new fastest lap of the session, it's Dreamsy who goes fastest with a 1:13.4. So a fast lap there from Dreamsy.
Coming out of turn 3, Imran Thunder on the hard tire, the Mercedes, had a pretty big moment. Didn't get any damage, but he did slide off the track right before the main straight. So I'm sure he aborted his current lap, and he's actually getting out of the way of someone. And he's going to go for another lap. It's really interesting to see so many guys trying to setting times on hards. It doesn't make much sense to me, considering a conservative approach would be on mediums, and then an aggressive strategy would be on softs. I didn't really expect to see so many drivers trying to go for hards, but maybe it just goes to show that a lot of drivers have seen an excess of tire wear and they want to really go conservative with their strategies today.
Yeah. So the fastest of the hard tire runners, it is X Breezy, who sets a 1:13.4, but it is Kill the Birdman, who's currently on pole with a 1:13.2 on the soft tires. We're going to look through the field, see if anyone's on a flyer. Snipper Pig, I think he evaluated his lap. He's pulled off to let some people go, so he's going to have to abort this lap. Racer X, I think, he may be on a flyer. Heading through Sector 2 now. Takes it beautifully. He rides out all the way to the outside. He throws it in real deep. He touches the outside curb. No mistakes just yet. He's fastest through Sector 2, and he's about 4/10 up. Heading through, I don't know the name of this corner, but Get That Money and Run has gone fastest now with a 1:12.7. So Racer X now is coming out of the final few corners. We'll see the type of lap he can set here. He's been looking quick. 4/10 up, comes across the line, and it's a 1:13.2 on the hard compound tires for Racer X. It's a very good lap from Racer.
Yeah, we're gonna definitely see Birdman set another time on the softs, because if there are drivers looming around that 13.2 mark on hards, then Birdman definitely has a ways to improve.
Okay, so we're having a report from the people in the live chat that the game audio is really quiet. Personally, I don't know if there's anything that I can do about that. So we're just going to have to live with it for now. I'm not sure why it's like that, but we're going to have to deal with it and persevere and get through it, I suppose. So Dreamsy now is heading through the hairpin now. I don't know if he's on a flyer or not. We'll see what his delta's looking like. He's weaving down the straight, so I don't think he's on a flyer. So some interesting things going on here. Pecan and Hanos have yet to set a lap yet. Hanos has validated his flying lap, so he's going to have to try one more time on the medium compound tires.
Try maybe adjusting your audio mix in the party settings.
We'll see what we can do there. So excuse the blue screen, it's fixed to appear. Yeah. Okay, and we're going to go right around there. Okay, so how's that for everyone on stream? Is that good, bad, too low, too high? I guess we'll find out later. But so we're going to have a look at Drew Yu now. He's on his flying lap on the soft tires. He's currently P6 at the moment, so a good day for Drew Yu for now.
Yeah, just to highlight what you were mentioning about Racer X's lap on that hard compound, 13.2, very, very impressive. He set that on a hard. It just goes to show he's got a lot of time. He still have a lot of time in his pocket, considering he can still set a time on softs or mediums that would be maybe 3/10, 5/10 faster, depending on which compound he chooses.
Alright. And it looks like a Dulsac has improved his time a little bit, but that is not going to improve his starting position at all. So Drew Yu coming out of the final corner now, he pulls into the pits and aborts his lap. Not sure what happened there, but Snipper Pig now is coming to Sector 3 now. He was about 4/10 up through Sector 1, but now he's a half a second up coming out of Sector 2. Snipper Pig is on an absolute flyer. He could maybe break the 112s on hard compound tires. He's heading through the final corners now. Out of the penultimate corner, trying to hug the curb as much as he can, trying to take the fastest line around. The backhand steps out from under him a little bit. That's not going to lose him time. He comes across the line, and it's a 1:13.0 from Snipper Pig, 007 on the hard compound tires. Very impressive lap from him.
Amazing. 2/10 faster than Racer X. But both these guys are definitely going to be swinging for pole position, I imagine.
We're going to look through the order and see who else is on a flyer. It looks like they killed the Birdman maybe on a flyer. He's a half a second up, but remember, he is on the soft tires. So his pace may not be comparable to Snipper Pigs and Racer X's, but...
Yeah, about a minute ago, we came across the 9-minute mark, and a handful of drivers had left their pit boxes and back onto the track. This is a pretty good time to set another more aggressive time as opposed to your first banker lap. What's really something you need to watch out is that if you're going to set a fast lap right now, there's going to be a lot of traversing traffic, and drivers that are not on hot laps really need to watch out for drivers behind them. From what I've seen in the last couple of months, drivers in this league have been very professional in terms of getting out of the way of drivers setting their fast laps. It's really, really good to see.
So I did say that we couldn't really compare Birdman's pace to Snipper Pig's, but he's gone a full second faster than Snipper Pig. He is on the soft tires, and Snipper Pig is on the hard tires, so I don't know the difference between the soft and hard, but I imagine it's close to a second. So Kill the Birdman might be faster than we all think.
That was a great lap. That was definitely a great lap, but I do believe that the time differential between the soft and the hard is about 1.5 seconds. So it was a good lap nonetheless, but definitely there's more potential for the soft tire than a 1:12.0. But so definitely a good lap for now.
So Hanos, he has moved up to P4 on the medium compound tires. We have a message in the chat from Mr. Late Apex, and he's asking, is Max in the split? I wish he was, but I don't think he's in the split. I hate to inform you. Lucas has gone up to P2 on the soft compound tire. He's about a half a second slower than Kill the Birdman, who has probably been the most informed driver of everyone on the grid. Birdman has been on the rise since probably Canada. So looking through the order now, see if anyone's setting a flyer. Pecan 36 still yet to set a lap, but I think he's now out on track. Cone Dodger is about a full second up, heading out Sector 2, and he hits the dirt a little bit. That's going to cost him a little bit of time. As he comes out of the sweeping left-hander now into the penultimate corner, he picks up a little bit of grass. He made a few mistakes in Sector 3. We'll see the type of lap Cone Dodger could set here. He comes across the line. It's a 1:15.8 for Cone Dodger. That's going to keep him in P16 for now. He's about a full second off of 7 Pi. So not a fantastic lap from Cone Dodger.
Okay, this is going to be interesting. So at the moment, Pecan has not set a time yet, but at the moment he is on track. He is on mediums. He's going to try and set up a solid time, even though he hasn't set any banker laps. Last week, unfortunately, we did see the consequences of his actions by not setting a fast banker lap, and invalidating his final attempt. But luckily this week he goes all the way up to P4. That's a very solid lap on mediums. Just to continue on that point, Snipper Pig is on his out lap, and he's currently fitted to mediums. And with 3 minutes, 45 seconds left in the session, he's not going to have time to go back into the pits and set softs. So he's definitely taking the conservative approach in terms of strategy.
Yeah, so lots of different strategies are being played here today. Snipper Pig throws it into turn 1 nearly flat out. He's got a Williams to deal with, and smartly he moves out of the way, so he throws it into turn 2 now, out of 3 and into 4, riding it all the way out to the curb. He's a full 10th up. We'll see if that can improve him at all. That might put him into P5. He can find just a little bit more speed, blasting down the straight now, heading into the hairpin. He throws it in deep, shifts down all the way to first gear almost, and now short shifts to second, and the McLaren moves out of his way as he heads onto the run to sector 3 here. Hugs the inside curb, he nearly touches the grass, and he comes across the timing line. He's 3/10 up. We'll see if that is good enough for anything. Yes, that might put him in P4, it looks like.
He's coming up on this Alpha, though. This Alpha needs to clear the way or push this last sector. It looks like they are pushing, so they're not going to get in his way. Unfortunately, I spoke too soon. Much too soon.
And it looks like Snipper Pig has aborted his lap, it looks like.
Unfortunate. Really, really unfortunate. You're going to have to take a look at that. As a steward, you're definitely going to have to take a look at that. That was unduly slowing down in Sector 3 and definitely impeding Snipper's pole lap. Definitely. He does have time to recharge his battery and go around once more, but it's really unfortunate to see, you're setting purple times and the final corner someone blocks you. It's really unfortunate to see that.
Yeah, I'm going to be completely honest. On stream, I don't know if it was different for me to you, but I didn't really see the Alpha in frame at all there. So, could you maybe elaborate on what exactly happened there? Because I don't think I caught that on stream, because I didn't see the Alpha.
You were watching Sniper's point of view, no?
Yes, I was, and I didn't...
Very curious. Oh, yeah, there were 2 Alphas following each other. I believe they're trying to give each other a draft. Like I said before, actually, I think the Alphas are really trying to play the team game. But the Alphas were massively slowing down in the 3rd sector. I think give each other a draft, and Snipper Pig was really fastly closing in on them, and I was really worried that he would catch them at the end of the lap. And for a brief second, I thought he didn't catch them and was able to finish the lap. But unfortunately, one of the Alphas, I'm not exactly sure if it was Breezy or Racer X, completely blocked Sinister on the final corner.
Gotcha. So that's very unfortunate.
That's why he aborted the lap.
Yeah, very unfortunate for Snipper Pig. So he's going to start his fly again, and he's having to deal with Alfa Romeo traffic again, and he hits the back end of him. The Alpha didn't move. Yeah, that's definitely impeding right there. They're really going to have to take a look at that. I'm not sure who it was. Was it Racer or Breezy? Breezy's in the wall. He's retired from the session. But Racer X is out here driving as if he's never done this before. He's impeding everyone's lap. What is going on with Racer X? So we're going to look at Snipper Pig now. I think he's going to have to nearly abort his lap here. He's still up, but he had to deal with a lot of traffic there because of the tactics from Racer X there, and he pulls it to the pits. What has happened there? What an interesting qualifying session. For the time being, it's Kill the Birdman who's on pole. Racer X comes across the line, and he stays P3.
Snipper had to abort his lap as well. He was not satisfied with the sector times. The stewards definitely have their work cut out for them.
But again, scheduled today for interviews, Racer X is a driver that we will be interviewing, so we will talk to him about that for sure. So we're going to wait for everyone to cross the line. I'm not sure what is going on at the moment. Looks like everyone's pulling to the pits. And Kill the Birdman is going to take his first ever pole position in the United Drivers League. What a moment for Kill the Birdman.
Improving, really improving on his time, even so.
Absolutely remarkable from Kill the Birdman. The man who's been the backmarker for almost the entire season has been on the rise the past few races, and he's come and he's put the Williams machine on pole position with a 1:11.9 on the soft compound tires.
One thing I do want to draw attention to is the fact that Snipper failed to set a valid time on the mediums, being impeded, I suppose, both attempts, which means he and Dreamsy, starting 10th and 11th, will both start on the hard compound. This is really interesting in terms of strategy. There's a mix of softs, mediums, and hards, all in the top 10.
Yeah. So a very, very interesting qualifying session here. Lots of drama involved. Kill the Birdman puts it on pole position. X Breezy P2, Racer X P3. I don't think he's going to stay there after impeding nearly the whole field's laps. And just, I hate to be mean here, but really just running out of talent. I'm not sure what's happened there, but Lucas in P4 get that money. P5, Bossman P6, Dillsack P7, Pecan 36 P8, Hanos P9, Dreamsy P10, and Snipper Pig P11. That's going to hurt his championship lead drastically. Seven Pie puts it P12, and Imran Thunder P13, Spyro the Great P14, Drew U and P15, the Imperial P16, SX Cone Dodger rounds out the field in P17.
You know, if you think about it, Snipper Pig is in the lead of the Drivers' Championship, and he was impeded by both of the Alphas, who are also competing very closely in that Drivers' Championship. We might have to take a look at a possible intentional blocking and sportsmanship warning. That. From my perspective.
So thankfully we get to interview him here today. So I'm going to be as honest as possible with him, and I will still have on some type of filter, but that's just unacceptable from anyone in this league. That's absolutely disgusting.
I agree.
So it looks like we're all leaving the lobby. I've got a glitch, and I'm still looking at the results screen, so maybe I just hit exit here. And we'll get an invite to a new lobby. So if you would like to invite Racer X to the party, and we could start the interview up, and we can get to talking to him, if you don't mind there, Apex.
I will attempt at this.
I cannot get over the disgusting tactics from that.
I'm hoping that it was unintentional. I truly hope it was unintentional, because from my perspective, it was not on. It was not on.
Yeah, that just looked so disgusting to not be intentional. I mean, it just... Yeah, if that's intentional, I think a league ban may be coming his way. That's just disgusting. One of the worst things that you can do in online league racing is impede on a front runner's qualifying lap. You just don't do that. You give the faster car the racing line.
It's actually a little bit beyond that. It's not just conceding the racing line. It also has to do with being in the third sector, in the final corners of the
lap.
I
mean, yeah. But
within the regulations, we do not allow drivers to slow down. That is in the rules. That in the final corners of the lap, you are not allowed to slow down. and we very clearly saw Alpha slow down at the final corner. In the final corner, he slowed down and completely blocked his lap, and that's not what we allow in this league. In this league, you should be up to full speed by the final few turns. That's just it's how we run this league, and it's honestly baffling how they completely destroyed. I'm pretty sure they destroyed multiple people's laps from your perspective as well as mine.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to invite Racer to make sure he gets into the party. Okay, so yeah, okay, so get him in here and we'll start the interview as quick as possible.
I believe
that's just so frustrating to me that. Intentional or not, that's simply just unacceptable.
He's not in the lobby at the moment.
Okay, so I will suggest him, because I am friends with him on here, but after a performance like that, I'm thinking of quickly changing that. I have suggested him, so now all you have to do is we'll get him in here and we will get this interview going. I can't wait. As I receive an invitation to the qualifying lobby.
He will be joining us very shortly.
Yeah, he better be. Alright, I'm now in the qualifying lobby, so we're going to wait for interviews to get underway. Well, the one interview we do have lined up today, and thankfully it's for the man of the hour. And we are now joined with him now. Racer X, how are you doing today?
I'm doing alright. How about you guys?
Doing alright. Well, if I'm going to be completely honest, we are not sure what you were doing in the qualifying session. You seem to have impeded a lot of drivers' laps, so was that intentional or unintentional?
No, it wasn't intentional. You probably saw what happened between me and Snipper.
I saw the entire thing.
So what happened was that I saw Breezy was speeding up, and then I was about to speed up in the last sector, and then I saw he slowed down the last corner. Then I slowed down, and then I saw Snipper coming by, and I didn't get out of the way fast enough. And I mean, it's my fault, but
that wasn't the only thing though. So on the very next lap, during the hairpin, you just seemed to just park your car on the apex of the hairpin as Snipper was coming through. So what happened there?
You mean in turn 2, yes?
No, I mean in the sector 2 hairpin. You parked it directly on the apex, and he made some contact with you, and it lost him a lot of time.
I don't think I made contact with him, to be honest, but I know.
Well, I mean, yeah, he ran into you because you didn't move.
Okay, well, if it did happen, I'm sorry about that, but it's just that I don't know if it was. I do remember exactly that in turn 2, I saw him in turn 2, and I tried to get out of the way, but I don't know if I ever got away in his way on the hairpin. But if I did, I'm sorry. But I was just trying to get out of the way as much as I could.
Yeah, I mean, this is why we waited for your side of the story. You know, there are things we don't catch on the broadcast. You know, such as the fact that your teammate slowed down, which caused you to slow down. You know, because you know, maybe that is something we need to discuss more clearly in next week's driver meeting. The fact that you cannot slow down in the third sector. Period. You should be in the last few corners of Sector 3, you should be fully up to speed. because you're going to impede a handful of drivers' laps, especially when it comes down to the end of the session. But it's bygones be bygones. We'll take a look at it after this race. But
Yeah,
you still have a great position, definitely, in this race.
Okay, I mean, it wasn't intentional. It's just
Sure.
Yeah, but it's just I'm not gonna say it's not my fault. It was clearly my fault. I didn't want to beat Snipper's lap though. But
yeah.
I'm not gonna say like, no, it's not my fault. No, it was clearly my fault.
You have to admit, it does look a little bit suspicious. You guys are all competing for the drivers' championship. These alphas are scheming against this the lead Ferrari. Looks very, very fishy.
Yeah, I mean, we're currently leading the constructors right now, and we're hopefully to make a good finish. I mean, I know Breezy's been having some great races too, 1-1 already, but I've been struggling, and I would say this race is definitely the time for me to redeem myself.
All right.
Well, so thanks for talking to us. And thank you for sharing your side of the story, and good luck in the race.
All right, thank you guys. Enjoy the race.
So I seem to be the only one to have pointed out the hairpin, the incident, and the hairpin.
Right, I didn't catch that. But I did see Breezy did retire from the session. I don't exactly know what happened, who was involved, but definitely a messy session, and something that we need to improve on in terms of league regulations and just the understanding of how to operate at this level. This is why I was looking forward to hearing his point of view. I'm really glad to hear drivers take responsibility for their actions. It's the worst to see drivers that don't take responsibility, and he seemed genuine in his apology, but it's really unfortunate to see. Like I had stated at the beginning of the session, it just goes to show the professionalism of the drivers within the league when they get out of flying laps. It's such a frustrating element of qualifying sessions.
Yeah, for sure. But I seem to be the only one who's actually caught the hairpin incident. I don't know if Snipper was on a flyer lap there or not, or if he was slowing down as well. But yeah, I'm not sure what's happened there. But there was definitely so he looked to have made contact with the Alpha in the hairpin. I'm not sure which Alpha it is, but we're going to assume that was Racer.
So actually, at the moment, I am speaking with the league administrator, and given that I am commentating on the race, and I did actually see that live. I did see it unfold in front of me. I do want to make something clear in terms of penalties, because I'm sure there's going to be a handful of drivers asking for grid penalties and whatnot for the beginning of the German race. And as a head steward, I want to explain my thought process for this. I cannot, even though I have the footage with me at the moment, captured by the league admin, as well as my own eyes. My own eyes don't lie. I did just see a penalty-worthy incident. As the head steward, I need to be fair with the punishments that I give out. And viewing that incident in an isolated scenario, I can't just give one driver penalties for this race. I need to review all of the penalty-worthy incidences after the race, apply them to the next race. This is how we've done it. This is how we always do it. Because the reason why Formula One can do it is because technically they have an entire day to review, to give grid penalties for the next day. So if a penalty happens on Saturday, they can give a penalty on Sunday. Whereas we don't. We are in a position where we can't do that. It's not available to us. We don't have the manpower. And even if we did have the manpower, it's only 5 minutes of intermission between qualifying and the race. So that's my explanation, and I believe it to be fair. I do truly believe it to be a fair way of administrating penalties in the league.
Yeah, for sure. So you need to hit spectate out the way. You seem to have not done that. Yeah.
My apologies.
There you go. Alright, so we are getting ready to get going here for the German Grand Prix. It is an interesting starting order. We've got the points leader starting in P11. I'm not sure where Racer is starting from. I don't know if he has received a 5-place penalty or any type of penalty or not, or if he will stay P3. But
if the game does award him a grid place penalty for that incident, then the game would have given him. It would still be under review, but if the game did give him a penalty, then that would work too. But just to go back on that, even if the game did give him a penalty, if we don't believe it's the proper punishment, then as administrator and as head steward, I can go back and adjust that stuff and increase it or decrease it and whatnot. Because the game, to be honest, in terms of penalties and collisions, it really does not understand racing at a high level. Unfortunately, maybe we can fix that for 2020, but I doubt it. It's been broken for the better part of an entire decade. It's been broken for an entire decade.
Yeah. So we're getting ready to get going here for the German Grand Prix. Very, very interesting starting order. So big drama in qualifying.
Sinister, when isn't there big drama in qualifying? Please tell me.
So true. There seems to be some drama in qualifying pretty much in every single race, but especially today. We get ready to get the formation lap underway here. So Apex, what is your podium predictions for this race?
Like I said before at the beginning of the qualifying session, it really does come down to whether you have... One moment.
Okay.
I don't understand what I'm looking at. So I am looking... Okay, sorry. That was a visual glitch. I was just looking at the race director and looking at the grid. Okay. I was very confused at that. That was a visual glitch, but I'm gonna let you take over since this is the lights are gonna go out soon.
Alright, and the lights are out to start the formation lap. Kill the Birdman will pace the field around this beautiful Hockenheim circuit. So one more time for the race starts. Let's roll through your starting grid. Row 1, we've got Kill the Birdman and X Breezy. Row 2 is Racer X and Lucas. Row 3 is Get That Money and Boss Man. Row 4 is Dilsack and Pecan 36. Row 5 is Hanos and Dreamsy, the McLaren duo. And then all the way back in row 6 is the championship leader in Snipper Pig. Below 7, he's starting alongside Seba Pie. Row 7 belongs to Imran Thunder and Spyro the Great. Row 8, Drew Yu and the Imperial, and rounding out the field on the row all by himself is STX Cone Dodger. So podium predictions for me, I don't have one. There's so many like strategies and all that I'm not really sure who's going to end up and win this race. Like Birdman could end up and shock the world here. Who knows? Anything's possible.
just to continue my thoughts before when you asked me the first time, it definitely does have to do with strategy. It also has to do with outright pace. Hockenheim is one of the greatest tracks in the world in terms of really looking at a driver and are you fast enough to get through Sector 3? Are you fast enough to conserve your ERS through Sector 1 and 2? Because look at the straights. There are 3 primary straights. 4, you could even argue 4. And it really just has to do with how much ERS you're expending. And can you stay behind the driver in front of you without using as much energy? Can you stay in the DRS? Can you stay in that 1 second gap to really challenge the guy in front of you? That's really what it's going to come down to.
Yeah, for sure. So the final car is pulling up to the grid. It's Drew Yu, who must have had some problems on the formation lap. As we get ready to start the German Grand Prix here. It's a new era for the UDL on YouTube. A whole new commentary team. First time I've had to do this for the UDL. Eyes on the lights. And the 2020 UDL German Grand Prix is, as the lights start to come on, Season 2 German Grand Prix for the UDL is green, and it looks like an even start for the entire front row. And Killer Birdman gets loose at the start. He spins the tires. X Breezy's into the race lead. Racer X is going to follow suit. He's into P2. Killer Birdman will drop all the way down to P3. Lucas keeps P4. Pecan's up to P5. He's going to look for a move on Lucas. Pecan sends it a dive bomb to 3 wide, it looks like, and get that money. He's going to be on the inside. It's contact! Big contact. It's Lucas. And get that money. He's made contact. There's a run all around. And, oh, big crash in turn 1. Sabapi's involved. Spyro the Great's involved. Lucas is involved. Get that money's involved. Big pile up in turn 1. Kill the Birdman is trying to make a move on the Racer X. Kill the Birdman's made a double overtake on both Alphas. Kill the Birdman is into the race lead here at Germany. What a moment for Kill the Birdman. He goes all the way down to P3 off the start, and he makes a double overtake to take back the race lead. Snipper Pig's trying to fight his way through the field, but Cone Dodger looks like he's up to P11, so it's a good start for Cone Dodger after pretty much the entire field ahead of him seems to have just folded in on itself and just died. But Kill the Birdman now. Your race leader, X Breezy, tried to defend from his teammate. Racer X, Pecan 36, found his way up to P4. Boss Man holding it consistent in P5. Dilsack holding it in P6. The McLaren duo has moved up 2 positions each. Then it's Drew Yu in P9, Snipper Pig in P10. He might try to make a move here on Drew Yu. He looks to the inside. This is for the final points paying position, I do believe, and Snipper Pig's going to clear him. But in the back there, good battle for P11. It looks like the Imperial is going to get past the Ferrari, but the Ferrari is not backing down. Here comes Cone Dodger. He's got help from the Mercedes Imran Thunder. Does he send it in deep? Does he stay back? He stays back a little bit. He's going to tuck in for a few more and maybe try and get a good run on the straight. Here comes Get That Money and Run. He's absolutely going for it as he hits the grass a little bit, loses a little bit of time. But at the front of the field now, it looks like Racer X has gotten involved in some incidents. He's all the way down to P5 now. I'm not sure what's happened there. I was looking at some battling farther back in the pack, so I'm not sure why he's all the way down in P5. So did you have to catch that?
He did get overtaken by Bossman as well. Actually, in the same lap, I believe. Really, really impressive start from Pecan. You know, starting I believe P8, making it all the way up to the podium positions in the second lap. There are not that many overtaking opportunities without DRS on this track, and really the incidents has really helped him out, and he really took advantage of that. Really, really impressive. And also want to point out the gap between the top 3, really the top 4 and 5, but especially in the top 3, tenths of a second. These are non-existent laps, non-existent gaps, and it's going to be really, really fun to watch these guys really battle it out.
It's very, very tight at the front, but it looks like the X Breezy, since this DRS is open, X Breezy might, he may just look for a move here on the Williams. Kill the Birdman. And Breezy looks at the inside to Kill the Birdman. Does he make the move? Sticky dives to the inside. Pecan's going to try to follow suit. Pecan's going to go even deeper and try to make a double overtake. That's not going to work for him. The Williams and the Alpha still side by side. Pecan wants a piece of the action. Still side by side. Birdman's not backing down. This is his moment. He got pole. He wants to stay in P1. He's not going down without a fight. But he's going to have to back down. His X Breezy is going to take P1 away from him. And Kill the Birdman goes wide just a little bit. Now Bossman, he wants a piece of the action. Bossman, He only has one career win, and he has no contact. And Birdman gets loose and almost spins out Pecan. He almost takes out Pecan as well. A big moment there for Kill the Birdman. He's down on P4 now. But he cannot let that get to his head. Birdman just needs to run his race. Here comes the Alpha Racer X. He capitalizes on the opportunity. He spins out. It was 2 ambitious wing damage for the Alfa Romeo. After drama qualifying, Racer X goes for an ambitious move and he spins it out in the final corner. Very unfortunate there for Racer X. So back at the front of the field, it's now X Breezy trying to defend for his life from Pecan 36. Pecan dives to the inside early.
Pecan is serious race pace.
Oh, I've got to catch my breath. Hang on.
This is intense.
Woo! All right. So Pecan 36 now leads the Grand Prix after making them move on X Breezy after flying past him on the straight. Bossman now into the podium position. So now the McLaren's running 4-5. It's a big train for P4 as well. And Snipper Pig is also a part of this train. So Snipper Pig is not out of the race yet after being impeded in qualifying. Oh my, what a race so far, huh?
Amazing racing. Really intense, really close. Not necessarily the most, I just really want to highlight the fact that how close these guys are racing, and we haven't seen that many collisions in terms of race-ending collisions and incidents. It's really impressive to see how close these guys are, how fast they're going as well. Really impressive.
So it looks like the Snipper Pig is making his way through his train now. He looks to the inside to kill the Birdman. He cuts the corner a little bit. That's not a big deal. You almost have to in that corner. So Snipper Pig now has moved his way up to P6. We'll see if he can catch up to the very quick and fast McLaren duo here. But at the front of the field, it's X Breezy. X Breezy has made a move for the race lead. Here comes Bossman. Bossman's going to the inside of the Haas. He wants P2 from Pecan 36 as he make the move stick. He's going to force him out wide a little bit. He's not giving an inch. Bossman's still there. He wants it. He wants it just as much as anyone out here. He only has one win. He's just as fast as these guys. He knows he can take it to him. Round the outside, what can Bossman do? And it looks like Pecan is just going to clear him here.
I'm really impressed by these two guys. You can look at the tire differential. Bossman really taking advantage of his soft tires in the first 5 laps of this race, making it 3 positions from, I believe, P6. But really impressive. More impressive is the grip that Pecan's getting out of these medium tires. He's competing on corner exits with Bossman, who has loads more grip in the soft tire. It's really impressive to see.
For sure. So at the pointy end of the field now, it's X Breezy who leads this race. Pecan 36 is tucked in the P2. Bossman has to wait just a few more corners before he makes the move. And it looks like 7Pi has had an incident. If we look back there, yes, he's in the dirt. But 7Pi gets back on track and back going. Not sure what's happened there. He might have gotten loose. And very statistically, the crowd is cheering for that. That's a very disgusting gesture by the crowd. And 7Pi still a little bit loose, but now Pecan right on the back end of X Breezy. Yeah, these gaps, the gaps, as you said, are just non-existent. This is very tight racing between every single driver, it looks like.
Hockenheim is one of these great tracks where you can really see different setups come out, and drivers that are shining in third sectors, maybe struggling in the first sectors and the second sectors. Really curious to see who's going to be losing time in the third sector, who's going to be gaining time in the first sector. It does look like Breezy does have a little bit more grip-oriented setup, and it looks like Pecan shaky at the exit, but still getting a good launch, still getting good grip out of that tires, and really straightening out his corners and really taking advantage of that DRS.
Very shaky indeed, and I would not be surprised if he tries to make a move on this second DRS straight now. He's going to deploy the back wing now. He's going to have the run of his life. So does he go low or does he go high? Where's Breezy going? He looks to the low side. Here comes Pecan 36 to the race lead. Can he make the move stick? And Breezy's going to make contact with him. A slight bit of contact between the two of them, but in the back. Look at that. Bossman has been overtaken for P3 as Honos gets by, and Bossman's losing a lot of time. Here comes Dreamsy. Dreamsy's going to the inside of Bossman. And it looks like that
Bossman
peak
looks like he's really, really struggling on that soft tire. The drivers that chose the more durable tire definitely looks like it was the better option.
for sure. So Snipper Pig has caught up to this big train. Here comes the McLaren Dreamsy. I thought that he was going to try and make a move there. And this is also a home race for Dreamsy as well. So not a bad performance for Dreamsy at all. For his home Grand Prix, he's going to get past the racing points. He has to pit on those absolutely dead tires. But here comes Snipper Pig now. He may just look for a move on Dreamsy. But no, he's going to have to stay in line for just a few more DRS.
I do want to highlight the fact that Pecan and Breezy are trading blows every lap, but they are pulling away from third place Funos. These guys have some serious pace, and they're dragging each other along, pulling away from third, fourth, and fifth. This battle is starting to separate a little bit, but still very intense within each battle.
And we have a comment from Mr. Startman33 who says, "Good God, this one commentator is annoying is annoying AF." I'm not sure who he is talking about, but if it was me, I do apologize for getting loud. During the first lap, there was a bunch of action there, and I just could not contain myself. So,
you sounded great. I don't know what you're talking about. Got me kind of sweating under the collar, to be honest.
Yeah, who knows? So back at the front of the field now, Pecan is defending from Breezy. He's defending for his life. Gonna see if Breezy will try and make a move on the DRS straight. So they head on to it now. Breezy will have the DRS. He opens up the back wing. He's going to look to the inside or the outside. Where is he going? Looks to the inside. He's going to have the fastest line around the hairpin. But Pecan's going to break later, try and stick it around the outside, try to get the exit speed, and he does. Contact between the two of them. They're still side by side. But Pecan's going to end up and clearing, and Pecan will hold on for another lap. But it's not over yet, as Breezy is one of the most aggressive drivers in the league, and probably the most, the word I'm trying to use here, the most revengeous. Is that a word? Not really revengeous, but
the word you are looking for is vindictive.
That's the word, sure. But yeah, if you do as much as touch him, he will get angry, and he will do anything in his power to make sure you do not win another race in your life. So you might want to be careful around him as he tries to chase down Pecan 36 now. It's hard to say who is faster between these two, because they're just staying in the draft of one another. But
I do at the moment want to highlight Dreamsy, who started P10 and started on hards. At the moment, he's looking very, very, very good in terms of strategy. He could do a one-stop. He could go on to mediums, but he could go longer. He could maybe get the overcut on the drivers in front of him. He's keeping Snipper Pig behind him on harder tires. Very, very impressive.
Yeah, for sure. And since it looks like that's kind of single file for the moment, it gives us some time to look back at the chat. And we have a comment from Late Apex saying Breezy was clean last week, and he doesn't know why I have talked about him like that. But if you know the history of this league, you know what happened back in Monaco in Season 1, you know, like that whole thing. And lots of other incidents. There was China this year, that whole incident. Just a bunch of incidents like here and there. He is a very clean driver, though. Just don't make him mad.
Ooh.
And what's happened there in the back? it looks like that there's been some contact between Dreamsy and Snipper Pig, and Snipper Pig, he tried to make a move, it looks like, but Dreamsy defended maybe a little bit too aggressively. I'm not sure what happened. I didn't catch that on stream.
No, actually, it was very, there was no contact. Snipper Pig tried to make a very, very late move, and Dreamsy left him a lot of space, but Snipper Pig actually decided to go onto the grass and avoid collisions. It's really good to see, but they live to fight another day, definitely. He's trying to scrub the grass off of his tires at the moment.
Yeah, for sure. It looks like that there's been an overtake for P13. You get that money. He's gotten past the other Ferrari of STX Cone Dodger. So we look back at the front of the field now. Breezy's just trying to stay in Peacon's DRS range. We'll see if he can find a place to make an overtake. Heading into the run to turn 1 now. He's going to have some DRS this time around, but he's trying to attack turn 1 as much as he can. He may just look for a move now. He looks to the inside. Does he make the move stick in turn 2? It's a risky spot to make a move. Doesn't look like there's contact. There's Breezy still on the outside. He's kind of forced wide.
Breezy has DRS.
Breezy does have DRS. So Breezy... But he doesn't. Wow, well, that's a fantastic
really
strategy there from
straight line speed from Pecan. Really impressive.
Yeah, I'm not sure how he was able to keep him behind him, but that was very impressive driving from Pecan. But this has let the McLaren of Hanos 9-7 catch up to all of them. Ooh, very close there between the two of them as Breezy he looked to peek out for a move again, and Pecan blocked him, but I don't think that's going to be legal at all since I think Pecan reacted first. But heading into the corner that I do not know the name of, but I do know that it does have a corner name. And heading in.
Corner?
Yeah,
Sex and sensitive.
Sebastian, yeah. So heading in turn 1 now. Looks like Hanos has got some DRS. Breezy does not have DRS for whatever reason. I don't know if that's a visual glitch, but now he does. And he's right on the back end of Pecan. Looks to the inside of turn 2. He tried it last time, but look at the straight line speed of that Haas.
Oh, they're being very tactical. Breezy braked up very, very early just to ensure that he has DRS for this main straight. I do want to direct your attention to the fact that Breezy does have 100% of his ERS. He's been conserving a great amount of ERS.
It's very impressive from Breezy. So it looks like Breezy may have the pace advantage of Pecan, but if he saved that much ERS, and he's still staying right there with him. But Anos now, he is right there, right in this battle now. And get that money. He's picked up 3 seconds for multiple warnings. Whether it's corner cutting or what, I'm not sure what it was.
Just to piggyback on the point I just made, I really want to highlight the strength of DRS on this track and how it can really help you conserve ERS as well. Breezy is, I believe, being very, very tactical in terms of keeping Pecan in the DRS zone, but not wanting to pass him, because he very clearly sees the advantage of ERS, the lack of ERS he's using. And he's going to definitely make a tactical move towards the end of this race because he sees the benefits at the moment. Breezy has 90% of his ERS. Honos has 80% of his ERS. Dreamsy has 70, but he has a gap between Honos and Dreamsy. And
here he comes,
95%.
And here comes X Breezy to the inside of Pecan. A small bit of contact on the straight, and it looks like they have switched lines here. Pecan now has the inside, Breezy's on the outside because Breezy tried to make a move, but it didn't quite work for him. Now Pecan is going to clear him once again. Pecan having to defend. This is some great defensive driving from Pecan. From Pecan here. I don't know if I'm the only one that's noticed that, but he's been able to defend his position for a long time here.
He's definitely defending his position. He definitely wants the track position. On the other hand, Breezy has 3 times as much energy stored than him. 3 times the amount. At the moment, actually, it has changed to 2 times. But Breezy is pitting.
And here comes X Breezy into the pit lane. Now, I don't know the top of the tires he's going on to. I do expect he's doing the 1 stop. Maybe. I think it's a 1 stop, so he's going on to the hard tires. Yeah, the Alpha crew has out the hard tires. And he's out and away just like that. Next, Breezy puts on the hard tires. He's good to go to the end of this race.
One thing to watch for is does Breezy have free track to make the undercut work? It does look like he does have about a 3-second gap to the driver in front, which means definitely clear air. He's really going to try and make this undercut work. Really look to his ERS to start really depleting as he starts to push.
So some unfortunate things here from Snipper as he is going to be held up by Bossman, who's for some reason on another set of soft tires. He's been on the soft to go on to another set of soft tires. Not sure what's happened with Bossman there, but now Snipper Pig going to try and get past the racing point to try and get some clean air and try and gain as much time as possible. So Snipper Pig Snipper Pig's hanging on to P7. Sorry. I don't know. Excuse me.
It might be a visual glitch. Maybe Bossman's going for a 3-stop soft, medium. I really couldn't tell you.
Pecan is in and out. We'll see where he comes out compared to X Breezy. Where's X Breezy on track? And I don't think it's going to be anywhere close on. So here comes X Breezy out turn 1, and he gets the move done with ease. X Breezy now the new race leader. So X Breezy has made the undercut work to a T. But this battle is far from over as Pecan will still be right on the back of him. And this is what Snipper Pig now. He's now right back into this race. And it looks like that the McLaren pair of Hanos and Dreamsy is still out setting laps, so they'll head and then we'll get a true feel of where everyone stands on track position wise.
Looking at the gaps, I do believe Snipper has made the undercut work on both of the McLarens. I believe yet to be determined, but if the pit delta is around 20 seconds, which it usually is for most circuits, we have to wait and see. But I do believe Snipper has made the undercut work, and he's really going to start chipping away at Pecan's gap. But looking at him in terms of the first 15 laps of the race on those mediums, Snipper does look like he is on a slightly higher downforce setting. So it's still going to be difficult for him to pass the straights.
Yeah, for sure. So Breezy and Pecan have ended up and cleared the McLaren of Hanos after the pit stop cycle, and Snipper Pig is just behind. Is just behind Hanos. So we'll see what he can do. So Pecan now is looking for the race lead, and Pecan quickly takes back the race lead from X Breezy. In the matter of 2 laps after the pit stops to cycle through, Pecan 36 back to the race lead. And so as they now try and close the gap on Dreamsy now, who still has to pit. I'm sure he's going to have to pit pretty soon here in the upcoming laps, if not this lap. And now he stays out for another lap once again.
So that was really, really crucial for Pecan to make that move because, like I said before, the status of these guys' ZRS systems is still apparent. Pecan is using a lot of ERS at the moment, whereas Breezy can take advantage of the ERS, save his ERS, use the DRS to save his battery. And he's definitely, like I said before, going to make a late move in this race and really dump a lot of his ERS in the final few laps. Pecan does look like a sitting duck at the moment. Unfortunately, he's going to try and use track position to his advantage, but I don't see it working in his favor.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like that that Cone is going to let Snipper Pig go by, I think. Yeah, so Cone has let his fellow Ferrari driver to just slip past him, which was the smart thing to do. Is Snipper Pig now on the charge, try and chase up to the lead guys to try and win this race.
Just to correct a statement I had made previously, Snipper Pig didn't make the undercut work on both McLarens, but he definitely did made the undercut on at least one of them, for sure. Dreamsy
Yes.
has left his pit stop slightly too late. He is on the hard though, but the differential in terms of the times you need to set on those hards, he's definitely not setting. He's definitely losing a lot of time. The hard starting on the hard was definitely not the best strategy for this race.
Yeah, so Dreamsy may have made the wrong strategy call there, but he will pit for the medium tire. So we'll see if he could still find some pace and try and catch up to these guys. But for the time being, I don't think he's got a shot.
I do believe the primary issue with using hards in 50% races is that you can't stretch the stint long enough that the pace you can get on the mediums is different enough. So using mediums and softs, or mediums and hards, mediums first, is definitely more advantageous. You know, a lot of these guys that pitted on hards already gained the advantage of mediums, whereas starting on hards just does not give you the pace after the guys pit for softer tires behind you.
Yeah, for sure. So Dreamsy's still staying out on the hard tire, still hasn't pit. If I were him, I'd try and pit as soon as he can. But
Wait, what did you say?
Dreamsy is he is
Dreamsy,
still on the hard tires.
I thought you said Breezy.
Oh no.
Right. Right. If you do pay attention to Breezy's driving style, this is very, very smart, in my opinion. He's not going for overtakes any longer. He has 100% of his battery, whereas Pecan, on the other hand, is up to 50%, whereas he did at one point have around 25 to 30%. But he has twice the amount of ERS, and Breezy's not pressuring him too much for an overtake. He is still pressuring Pecan to the point where Pecan has to expend a lot of his ERS to stay in front of Breezy with that DRS. A little bit unfortunate that those acronyms are so similar.
Yeah. So before long, we will have us a 4-car battle for the race win, which is going to be very fun to watch. It looks like Pecan is kind of holding up Breezy and letting Hanos and Snipper Pig catch up to him. So this should be a fantastic race here in the upcoming laps. And Dreamsy has finally made his pit stop, and the lead pack goes by. So Dreamsy is going to have to really haul here if he wants to win this race. So back at the front, Pecan 36 going to try and defend from Breezy. Will Breezy try and make a move just yet, or will he just play it cool and calm and stick behind him for another lap? And he's going to just stay behind him for the time being. He gives him a small bit of a nudge, it looks like.
Just to piggyback off what you were mentioning before about Honos and Super Pig really catching up to the battle in the front, Pecan is Breezy on it. Breezy is matching Pecan's pace. He doesn't want to pass if he wants to conserve his ERS, take advantage of ERS. What this is actually doing is allowing Honos and Super Pig to catch them at incredibly fast paces. This is, I believe, Breezy has to start thinking about an overtake and just outpacing Pecan with using an excess amount of ERS, because if he keeps waiting too long, he's going to be under attack from the drivers behind him, and he's going to be compromised on his calculated move on Pecan. He really needs to start thinking about passing Pecan and just using his outright pace to just outrun Pecan's DRS.
Yeah, so there's officially a 4-car train now for P1. So pretty much anyone that's in the top 5 could very well win this race, as Dreamsy's going to be flying on the medium tires there, so we'll see the kind of pace that Dreamsy can put up. Heading to the hairpin now. Breezy still right on the back of Pecan. Hanos is right on the back of Breezy. And Hanos is also a very aggressive driver, so Hanos, if there's a chance, he might just go for it. And Snipper Pig is now in P4. And Dreamsy is already just catching up to this pack at a very alarming rate. And Cone Dodger has picked up 3 seconds.
these final 12 laps are going to be very serious. And don't even count out Dreamsy, because having Breezy match Peacon's pace, Honos is having to match Breezy's pace, and Sniper also is going to have to be matching Breezy and Honos' pace, which is allowing Breezy to catch them by multiple tenths each lap. This is really, as he sets the fastest time, he's flying, as well as the fact that everyone is slowing down in front of him. This is going to be a 5-car race to the finish, not a 4-car race.
Yeah, Dreamsy is putting in some absolute flyers at the time. For the time being, he's going to be around the back of Snipper here, probably the next few corners. For the time being, it's just a big old DRS train of 5 cars here.
Mister, take a look at Dreamsy's tire.
Take a look at Dreamsy's tire. Yeah, he's on two
mediums.
He is on 2-lap-old
Right.
medium tires. So
yeah, he's on the newest, grippiest tire, and he's in the 5th. He's got the like you said, he has his work cut out for him. But this race is not out of the question for him. This is going to be very, very tactical coming up in the final 10 laps of this race. It's going to be really, really tactical. Who has the DRS? Who has the ERS? Who's going to risk it into that final hairpin on the back sector 2?
yeah, so now we have a 5-car battle for the lead. I think that all 5 of these guys are just content with riding single file for the time being, and then they'll try to make a move. And here comes Breezy. Breezy, he looks to the inside of Pecan. Breezy, he decides that the time is now. And Breezy looks to the inside to make a move. And Breezy's going to take P1 away from Pecan. Ex-Breezy, race leader.
Dreamsy also made a move on the Sniper Pig.
It's not over yet. Here comes Pecan. He looked to the inside to try and make a move on Breezy, but it didn't quite work for him.
So we really need to pay attention to the gap between Breezy and Pecan now. See if Breezy can stretch it out. I'm not exactly sure if he can, because Pecan really looks like he has a really good straight line speed setup. I don't think Breezy, even with the ERS advantage, can outrun Pecan very easily.
Me either. So yeah, 5-car train here. Dreamsy has gotten past the Ferrari at Snipper Pig. So the McLaren boys are flying for the time being. It looks like Breezy's pulled just a little bit, but Pecan's staying within the 1-second threshold, so he will still have the DRS coming onto the DRS straight.
Unfortunately, I did witness Dreamsy's overtake on Snipper Pig. Snipper Pig did have DRS on Honos, but he was really dead in the water. He does not have the straight line speed in this setup.
And the 2 McLarens are going side by side for the race lead. They're side by side. Pecan looks to the race lead. Pecan's going to make the move stick as he clears Ex-Breezy. And now Dreamsy's moved his way up to P3. Dreamsy is on a charge.
He is flying. He is flying.
And Dreamsy, of course, involved in the closest finish in the history of the UDL at Austria. He only won by about 300ths of a second over Ex-Breezy. If you have not watched that race, I highly suggest you go and watch it. It's one of the greatest races ever, and you really need to watch it. You have not lived until you watch that race.
You can really see the grip advantage that Dreamsy has coming out of the corners. He's not accelerating on the cars in front of him, but he's not losing time either, which means the understeer that's coming off the dirty air in front of him is not affecting him, which means he definitely has a grip advantage. Let's see what his straight line speed's looking like.
Yeah, so this straight here should be interesting. Is Dreamsy now looks for the move on Ex-Breezy. And here goes Breezy on the inside of Pecan. Breezy's going to go to the race lane. No, he's not. He's going to drive it in deep. He's going to lose 2 spots. And he gets 3 seconds as well. Very unfortunate for Ex-Breezy. He goes wide and picks up 3 seconds worth of penalties after trying to make a very ambitious move. Very unfortunate for Ex-Breezy. And he spins out Dreamsy. I don't know if there was contact or not, but Dreamsy has spun around. I think that there was contact, and Breezy may have spun out Dreamsy. I'm not sure what's happened there.
Oh dear. That is really, really unfortunate to see.
That's going to cause a lot of drama as Dreamsy was absolutely flying. And I think Dreamsy probably had this race won, honestly, but now it's up to...
Definitely did.
But now Pecan has this in the bag now, since Breezy has picked up 3 seconds of penalties. And
Not only has he picked up 3 seconds of penalties, but if he did make a collision with Dreamsy, he's definitely going to be receiving more penalties than that.
Yeah, for sure. So it looks like Dillsac's gotten past Dreamsy as well. Dreamsy's out of this race, and now Breezy looks to the inside of Pecan. We'll see if Breezy can make the move stick. This merely means nothing, but side by side, Snipper Pig and Hanos are going with it. And now Snipper Pig is up to P3. Snipper Pig now right back in this race. Breezy now trying to chase down Pecan for the race lead. And now Breezy looked to the inside there for a minute, but I don't think he's going to make the move.
As much as I believe Snipper Pig does have superior pace on the majority of tracks, I do believe he did make a mistake on his setup. I don't think he can catch these guys. These guys are blazing on the straights, and even with DRS, he's not catching them. Even with DRS, it does look like it's going to be a Pecan Breezy battle, but with Breezy definitely flirting with a handful of penalties at the moment, it does look very, very, very good for Pecan.
Yeah, it does look like a Pecan race win at the moment. We'll see if Snipper can somehow gain on these guys. It looks like he's faster in the corners, so we'll see if he can somehow just stay with them on the straight. He will have DRS. He opens it up. So Breezy now will definitely... He's going to look for a move here. The camera angle that I've gotten for Breezy is kind of horrible. But Breezy's going... He's going to stay tucked in for now. So no move for the lead just yet. As Dreamsy's all the way back down to P8. Very unfortunate for Dreamsy. He was the fastest guy all day, it seemed like.
Breezy's still floating at the 90 percentile in terms of ERS. If he doesn't start using it soon, then I do believe it might be a waste. Pecan, on the other hand, floating around 40%, Snipper Pig floating around 60%.
So we'll see how these next few laps will play out as we head into the closing stages of this race. Looks like Breezy may have a run on Pecan. Don't go for that. You know better. Okay. And he thinks a lot better of it before trying to make a move in turn one. That's one of the most dangerous things that you can do there. As he go into turn two now, all just head to toe, just nothing is separating these guys. But Snipper Pig now looks like he's got the DRS. I don't think he's got a good run on Breezy just yet, but he peeks to the inside, but I don't think he's going to make the move. And Dream just sets the fastest lap of the race.
Unfortunate. He did hit again on softs, and he is in the top 10, which means if he does set the fastest lap, he will have an extra point added to his tally at the end of the race.
Yeah, so it looks like Snipper is all over the back end of Breezy. We'll see if Snipper can get anything going here. Heading into the newly named Sebastian Vettel corner, as coined by Mr. Apex.
I do want to again look at the top 3 battle and analyze the setups and the grip and the ERS they have. At the moment, Pecan obviously does not have the advantage of DRS, so he's going to be using a lot of energy. Behind him, Breezy, who's arguably dealing with a 3-second penalty in the game, as well as perhaps a 5-second penalty if he made contact with Dreamsy. He does have a lot of ERS, and the only chance of him truly winning this race is if he overtakes Pecan and gaps maybe 3 seconds, and he might even need 8 seconds. But we'll see at the moment. On the other hand, Snipper Pig, who does have a fair amount of ERS, and he is a great driver, as well as all of these guys are, but the issue lies in his setup. He does not look like he has the straight line speed to really challenge these guys. Pecan does have enough ERS to make it to the end of this race. He only has 4 laps left. He has 40%, and he will gain around 20% in this final sector by shifting it all the way down to 0 and braking hard and late, getting a lot of ERS back into his battery.
Now, there is a yellow flag at Sector 3. I don't know if that's going to bring in a safety car or not. And the yellow flag is now cleared, and we're back to green flag racing. But I do have a word from someone in the chat saying that Pecan also has a penalty? Does Pecan have a penalty or not?
Pecan does have a 3-second penalty.
He does?
Even on penalties.
So Breezy and Pecan are even on penalties, but so Snipper currently is the net leader of this race, all the way back from P11 into the net lead.
Wait. One moment. One moment. Let me confirm.
And side by side now, Pecan and Breezy are battling. Unfortunately for them, I don't think this means anything since they both have 3 seconds. Breezy sends a risky move now. He forces him out wide. But Pecan's going to keep the spot. So Snipper Pig holds on to P3, which for the time being we think is the race lead. And Hanos is in a net P2.
The comment very graciously given to us by the chat in live stream. Who's going to win this race?
I don't know. So we have word.
Do you? Are you sure about that? Take a look. Take a look at who doesn't have a penalty.
Okay. So let me just look here. If I go to race director, if I can figure out how to operate this thing. Hang on, man.
I could tell you right now.
Yeah, just tell me because I'm forgetting how to do this.
Pecan has a 3-second time penalty.
Okay.
Breezy has a 3-second time penalty. Look who's within 3 seconds.
That is Snipper Pig. Yeah. Snipper Pig and Hanos is going to be battle for the win here probably, since these guys do have penalties.
Snipper Pig. This is incredible. Snipper Pig, after all I've said about his setup woes and the lack of straight line speed, Snipper Pig is sitting pretty, and he's going to take this race purely from penalties.
I wouldn't say all that just yet, because Hanos, he is nothing to laugh at. Hanos just might.
You're absolutely correct in that observation.
Yeah, he may have something to say about it.
Absolutely correct in that observation.
So we'll see if Hanos can do anything for the race win or not as we come across the line to take 2 laps to go here from the Season 2 German Grand Prix. And it looks like Hanos just can't keep up with Snipper. So from what it's looking like, Snipper Pig will take the race win.
Snipper Pig is lacking straight line speed, but I think if he stays right in that gap, there might be a move on. Ooh, nope. Everything stays the same.
So still just a 4-car train here for the lead of this race.
This is really, really curious to see how it's affecting the drivers in 3rd and 4th place, who technically are racing for the lead. Hanos overtakes Snipper, he wins the race. If Snipper maintains his 3rd place, he will win the race. This is really interesting to see the dynamic of these 4 drivers and how it's affecting each other's race.
So yellow flag at Sector 3 once again. Looks like there's a Renault spun in the grass. Don't think that can't bring in a safety car too late in the race.
So we're entering the final lap now. Really pay attention. The gap between Hanos and Snipper Pig looked too much to swallow for in terms of Hanos' gap. It does not look good for him, but it did have a really nice braking zone. He is inviting distance.
Yeah, so Snipper Pig is sitting pretty at the moment, but if I were him, I'd just stay in P3, because if you stay there, you have this race won. But here comes Breezy, it looks like, on the outside of Pecan, and there's contact between 2 of them, and Breezy's forced wide a little bit after the contact. Here comes Snipper Pig. I don't know if Snipper Pig is going to try and make a move or not. I think he does the smart thing and stays and he stays tucked in. But he looks to the inside. He's going for the move. No, don't do that. No. But he does go for it. But it's not going to work for him. Very ambitious there from Snipper. I don't know if he knows that Breezy has a penalty or not. So Pecan holds the race lead for now. And Breezy now in P2, there's yellow flag in Sector 3. That means it's going to limit the overtake. Okay, but now it's gone. But coming into the final corner now, after a fantastic German Grand Prix, Pecan 36 is going to cross the line in first place. And Breezy is going to come across the line, but Snipper Pig does in fact take the race win here from the German Grand Prix. That's 3 on the season for the Ferrari driver and the defending champion.
Incredible.
Hanos takes home P2, and Pecan takes home P3. Breezy will finish P4. Dilsack will come home P5. Dreamsy bring it home P6 after a very unfortunate circumstance with Breezy, but he does have a penalty. And Red Thunder promoted up to P6. Dreamsy in the P7. Bossman P8. Whenever he comes across the line, P9 will belong to Kill the Birdman. It's Racer X will pick up the final point of this race.
I have a suspicion that Snipper Pig was not aware of the Pecan and Breezy's 3-second time penalties. I have a very, very serious suspicion, because that move on the inside going into that corner, very, very very much of a disadvantage in his position. He could have spun out very, very easily, given the win to Honos. Luckily, he did not.
So, I do have some word from the chat that Pecan is going to challenge his 3-second penalty. So, even though the checker flag is out, this race is not over. We don't know how this is going to pan out, but for now, it's Snipper Pig who picks up his 3rd race win of the season as he lifts the trophy. Hanos will bring it home P2. Pecan 36 around at the podium unless he gets it turned around, and then he will be the race winner. But yeah, lots of drama here in today. A fantastic German Grand Prix here from the UDL. We have not had a bad race all season. And now the final results here. It's Snipper Pig brings home the win. Hanos in P2, Pecan P3, but that's getting protested. P4 belongs to Breezy. P5 Dilsack. P6 Imran Thunder. P7 Dreamsy. P8 Boss Man. P9 Skill the Birdman. P10's Racer X. P11 is Get That Money and Run. P12 is Sevapai. P13 is the Imperial. P14 is Drew U. P15 is Spiral the Great. And P16 is SDX Cone Dodger. And P17, rounding out the field, is a Lucas. So, Apex, your final thoughts from today's German Grand Prix?
At the moment, I am actually analyzing the warning system within the Formula 1 game. But, really, really interesting. I think it was unfortunate to see time penalties come into play in terms of the order of the race. I really would have liked to see just a straight-up battle. There really weren't any overtakes in the final few laps. I think because of that, because I think that everyone saw the writing on the wall, that they knew that their positions were basically set, and it's unfortunate to see that the time penalty kind of destroyed the end of that race, but still really, really good, clean racing, and it's really good to see these drivers battling. You know, you think about this is a 50% race, right? And they all pitted in on different times. They had different strategies, different ERS levels, and look at the last 15, 20 laps. They were all within a second of each other, all fighting for the lead, exceeding the track limits. But it was a really, really good race, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed commentating with you as well.
Yeah, same for me as well. We had a fantastic race to call. There's some action on pretty much every single lap. But for now, that's going to conclude the broadcast here from Germany. So come back next week for the Hungary Grand Prix, which should be a fantastic race, which, even though it's not really known for passing, but still should be a fantastic race. So from the commentary booth, I've been Sinister Elf 43 alongside Apex Glide. Good night, and have a happy Easter.